So good. President, let's talk about Israel. You made promises. I always say promises made, promises kept. And Israel was a big one. 5 presidents had campaigned on that as candidates, but did not follow through. There were so many other things you did, from, of course, Iran and basically defunding them and bankrupting them, to UNESCO, to UNRWA, to the Taylor Force Acts, to recognizing the Golan Heights as sovereignty and Israel the sovereign right to stand for themselves. Tell about the embassy, because that's such a story where everyone put you under pressure. What happened and how did you make that decision?
Well, I think I've been better to Israel than, I have been better to Israel than any other president by far. Thank you very much, everybody. As Paula mentioned, we did Golan Heights. We did the Abraham Accords, a big deal.
Yes.
That was incredible. Nobody thought that was possible. And if we were there, you would have had that filled in, maybe even with Iran, because Iran was broke. They had no money. We had sanctions on them. I told China, if you buy 1 barrel of oil, you can't do business in the United States anymore. And they said, we'll pass. And I said that to a lot. And all I wanted was Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. I just wanted, that's all I wanted. Very simple, you can't have a nuclear weapon. And, you know, we are closer to a World War III right now than we've ever been. Between Russia and Ukraine, and the Middle East is all exploding and going crazy. We are really very close, and we don't have competent people running our government. They're incompetent people. And it's, you know, it's a very dangerous thing. But Paul is alluding to, because I told her the story one time, when I was campaigning, I said that we'll make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. And a big part of that is you're going to move the embassy. When you move the embassy, I guess it's semi-automatic, right? And so I was going to do that, and I was all set to do it, and I was being called, I guess 6 or 7 presidents promised, and it was promised without question. But then they never did it, and I never understood why. But I do now, because when I got to office, I was inundated with calls from very important countries and unimportant countries. Everybody was calling me, don't do it, it'll be bloodshed in the streets. Don't do it, it won't be good, don't do it. Anyway, but I was going to do it, and I promised I was going to do it, and I felt there wouldn't be bloodshed. I was right about that, by the way. But they said there'd be bloodshed. There was every bad thing. So I started getting a lot of calls because people were hearing that I was going to do it. And I don't want to say but who, but you can imagine, from the biggest countries, from the most powerful countries, I was getting calls from, and specific countries too, and would like to speak to the president, would it be possible? And they said it was about Jerusalem and the capital, becoming the capital of Israel. And that means, you know, they were going to try and talk me out of it. So this was on a Thursday, and I said, would you tell them I'm going to call them back on Monday? So good. Then on Friday, or whatever day it was, I announced that I was doing it. And I did it. I got it done. And then on Monday, I called everybody back. Hi, what's up? What do you want to talk about? And they said, oh, that's we wanted to talk. But by that time, it was already, I mean, it was out there, and there was no, you know, I was told that the whole world was going to explode if you did that. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And importantly, I got it built. Once we were there, General walked in, sir, would you please sign the following papers? I said, what's that for? $2 billion to build an embassy. I said, $2 billion? Are you $2 billion? This is the United States. That's why Elon Musk is going to do a good job cutting costs. He was great last night. But I said to David Friedman, the ambassador, a very good guy, I said, David, is there anything we can buy there that's like we can renovate and fix up and have an embassy fast? Because you know that if you're going to have an embassy, they wouldn't have the embassy built for 25 years, and it would cost a fortune. And they wanted to buy this site, which was not a great site, but it was a tremendous amount of money. So he calls me up the next day, he says, we have a great site. You know, we've been there a long time. We have a great site, and there's a building on it. It'd have to be renovated, and we can renovate it. And the bottom line is it was a much better site. We owned it already. We didn't have to spend any money. And I spent almost nothing. And we got it built in about 4 months. We renovated the building for less than $1 million. Think of it. So we saved $2 billion. And just a little cute story. A friend of mine is in New York, a very rich guy, a very big Wall Street guy, and he's got Jerusalem stone on facing the elevators in a big building in New York, very prestigious building. He's got Jerusalem stone. And every time I walk in, he said, he's Jewish. He's so proud of the Jerusalem stone. He said, Donald, this is before I was president. I don't know if I've been up there since, but he'd always say, look at this, it's Jerusalem stone. After about 10 times, I said, you don't have to tell me it's Jerusalem stone anymore. So anyway, so now I'm in Jerusalem, and I have to renovate a building, and I want to do it quickly so I get the embassy open, and we have it, and it's done. And that way it's sort of more permanent. You know, it's not where they can change it and go back. So the contractors are all there, everybody's around. They say, can you use Jerusalem stone? And is it very expensive? They said, no, it's cheap as hell. It's the cheapest thing. We have a lot of it. It's all over the place. So we did the whole building in Jerusalem stone. And it's gorgeous. You know, it's beautiful. It's known as such an expensive stone, but it wasn't expensive for me. So anyway, we did a good job. We got it built. We not only named it, we got it built. And it's a beautiful embassy. There's no reason for them to do another one.